What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update daily news. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now down below. It's completely free to do so. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. We got a lot to talk about here today. There's some major new sanctions that are going on here on Russia, and more states approving billions of dollars here for you guys, for your residents, or for their residents here. So let's jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. First up, President Biden has made his official nomination to the Supreme Court. Here it is.
President Biden has made a historic nomination to the United States Supreme Court. And we begin with that nomination of federal judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. She is the first ever Black woman nominated for our country's highest court. And it comes 2 years to the very day after Joe Biden made this pledge during a candidates debate in South Carolina.
We talked about the Supreme Court. I'm looking forward to making sure there's a Black woman on the Supreme Court to make sure we, in fact, get every representation. Not a joke. Not a joke. I pushed very hard for that.
You heard that applause there. It's sort of like, it's about time, I would say. Since our country's founding, there have been only 2 Black justices and only 5 women on the Supreme Court. And only one of those women, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, is a woman of color. Jackson appears to be supremely qualified. She is currently a federal appellate court judge and previously served as a U.S. District Court judge. And also, she was on the Federal Sentencing Commission. She also clerked for Justice Stephen Breyer, whom she would replace if she is confirmed. But in Judge Jackson's remarks today, one thing that stood out were the personal details that she shared.
My only sibling, my brother Ketaj, came along half a decade later, and I'm so proud of all that he's accomplished. After graduating from Howard University, he became a police officer and a detective on some of the toughest streets in the inner city of Baltimore. After that, he enlisted in the Army, serving 2 tours of duty in the Middle East. I believe that he was following the example set by my uncles who are in law enforcement. You may have read that I have one uncle who got caught up in the drug trade and received a life sentence. That is true. But law enforcement also runs in my family.
She has family members who've served in law enforcement and in the military, and she has family members who got mixed up in drugs. Sounds like a lot of American families I know, frankly. And Jackson also acknowledged the historic nature of her nomination.
If I'm fortunate enough to be confirmed as the next Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States, I can only hope that my life and career, my love of this country and the Constitution, and my commitment to upholding the rule of law and the sacred principles upon which this great nation was founded will inspire future generations of Americans.
Also today, as Russia sends in more heavy artillery, you can see this headline here. Russian army deploys its TOS-1 heavy flamethrower. Yeah, that's a terrible headline you can read there. Here is some footage of it. Check this out. Yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Ukraine here today. Also, they are now stepping up even more sanctions against Russia. If you watched my previous video, we talked about the SWIFT sanctions potentially being the absolute worst or one of the absolute worst sanctions they could do against Russia. Some call it even the quote nuclear sanctions, being not actually nuclear in the sense of like a nuclear bomb or anything like that, but some of the worst sanctions they could do is shutting them out of financial transactions around the world. It looks like they're actually going to be doing this. Check this out. Germany was one of the main countries that didn't want to do this because they're so close to Russia and, physically and financially. Now being reported, Germany and Western allies agree cutting Russia out of SWIFT, the SWIFT financial system. Here are the details. Germany and Western allies have now agreed to cut Russia out of SWIFT global payment systems, a spokesperson for the German government said here today, in a third sanctions package aimed at halting the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I don't know if that's going to actually halt the invasion, but it's surely going to hurt Russia. The sanctions agreed with the United States, France, Canada, Italy, Great Britain, and the European Commission, which has multiple different countries in it, also include limiting the ability of Russia's central bank to support the ruble. This will also end the quote golden passports for the wealthy Russians and their families and will target individuals and institutions in Russia and elsewhere that supports the war against Ukraine. The countries stress their willingness to take further measures and should Russia not end its attack on Ukraine and thus the European peace order. As you can see here, banks across the world use SWIFT to finalize transactions and bank transfers. Cutting Russia out of SWIFT would make it incredibly difficult for its banks to operate efficiently, but could also wreak economic havoc for European nations that depend on Russian oil and natural gas exports. This is why they weren't sure they were going to do this, because it would hurt European nations as well. But apparently they have decided to go ahead and do this anyways, and this is going to cause a major economic toll on Russia. The Washington Post reports, and also as we have been reporting here on our channel, states here in the United States are in a tax-cutting frenzy. It's a sign of excess pandemic aid. Some states are choosing to send out stimulus checks. Some states are choosing to reduce gas taxes. Some states are choosing to just do tax cuts, reducing taxes in their states. The Washington Post reports here, the U.S. is in the midst of a tax-cutting frenzy, and both red and blue states have suddenly found themselves flush with cash. Governors and state lawmakers are eager to return some money to their constituents, a move well-timed for the upcoming election. But they've been doing this even since last year, most notably, or the largest, the state of California with the Golden State stimulus checks. They're going to probably do that again this year. California probably going to issue another stimulus check again this year to 27 million people. That they're in a position to do yet another sign of just how strong the economic recovery is and how the federal government's pandemic aid greatly exceeded what was needed for the states. Last year, 2021, 29 states and DC passed significant tax cuts, according to a tally from the Tax Policy Center. The most popular actions were to slash individual income tax rates and to expand a state's earned income tax credit, also known as the adult tax credit. So a lot of people are getting adult tax credits on the state level. Remember, the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, is for low-income individuals. And a lot of states are giving added bonuses on the state level. Okay, so you can get an extra kind of stimulus check or stimulus bonus or extra money, whatever you want to call it, from the state level, because states are providing extra funding out of their bonus kitty or bonus money or bonus pandemic money, whatever you want to call it. on the state level as well. So a lot of states are using their money on that. The EITC is only for low income individuals or families. You can see here to expand a state's earned income tax credit, which acts as a wage boost to low paid workers. States are widely expected to cut even more this year. State budgeting season is just starting, but Idaho has already signed into law the largest tax cut in state history, with big reductions for individuals and businesses. And New Mexico has approved a $250 per person tax rebate. And yet, you can see here directly from the Associated Press, New Mexico lawmakers okay crime bill and $500 million in tax rebates. New Mexico legislators approved around $500 million in tax rebates and a broad suite of crime-fighting initiatives Thursday at the end of a 30-day legislative session as the state grapples with economic whiplash from the pandemic and concerns about a violent crime surge in the Albuquerque region and beyond. New Mexico state government is awash in cash. That's a nice saying. Awash in cash. Linked to a surge in oil production. That's a timely, a nice timely time to be we're going to need oil, right? Because we're not going to want to get it from Russia right now, right? And a federal infusion of pandemic relief funding, allowing lawmakers to provide individual income tax rebates of $250 for New Mexicans and more for parents. State legislators also approved unprecedented new investments in public schools, Medicaid, public safety initiatives, and an array of grants, loans, and tax breaks to private industry. The Democratic-led legislature approved a record-setting $1 billion annual budget increase that provides $8.48 billion in general fund spending during the fiscal year on July 1st, a 14% increase over current year spending. Salary increases of 7% are scheduled for school district and state government staff, with a minimum wage of $15 for public employees and a higher base salary for teachers and various stages of their career. Well deserved. Well deserved. Quote, we have never raised teacher salaries this month. Well, something, as I said, very definitely deserved for teachers. Quote, we're really put this money where it needs to be. What I'm hearing is that from the education community is that they're going to work longer now that they've got a pay that makes a difference. It will increase their retirement. Republican and Democratic legislators came together to approve one-time tax rebates of $250 for individuals who file taxes or $500 for joint filers. An additional tax credit or rebate negotiated by Democratic State Representative Javier Martinez of Albuquerque will provide parents up to $175 per child annually, a benefit that doesn't expire for nearly a decade. Wow. Higher income households will receive a smaller child tax credit at $25. I want to note here a little kind of, I don't know, I want to say maybe like kind of tax trick that you can do if you're not a tax filer, is that you might want to file a state tax return for 2021. You can file a state tax return for $1 or $20 if you're from New Mexico to claim this stimulus check from the state. Okay. But again, you might want to talk to, a tax professional or somebody who knows your situation. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay. Because again, I don't know your specific situation, but that might help you claim if you're not normally a tax filer, if you don't have any earned income, you can just, you can file a tax return or say you sold something for $5 at a garage sale, and that was your earned income for the year. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But I know that some people do that. Okay, and then you can get your stimulus check for $250 to $500. Okay, but again, check with somebody who knows your personal tax situation to get, and this goes for other states as well, because there's a lot of states that are going to be coming out with stimulus checks like this. If you've been watching my channel, there's a lot of states doing stimulus checks like this. It's not just this one state. Also, check this out. Legislators also agreed to eliminate state taxes on Social Security income for middle income earners. Individuals earning more than $100,000 for joint filers earning more than $150,000 would continue to pay, though. So legislators agreed to eliminate state taxes on Social Security income for middle income earners. So it looks like if you earn less than $100,000 on Social Security, if I'm reading this right, you're not going to have to pay state taxes here in New Mexico. Honestly, it looks like New Mexico is doing a really good job here. They're giving something to everybody here. A lot of different things here going on here. So no state taxes on Social Security now. And also the tax relief bill would also give $1,000 credits to full-time hospital nurses for the 2022 tax year and slightly reduce the state gross tax receipts on retail sales and businesses services. So an extra kind of $1,000 bonus to full-time hospital nurses for 2022. A lot of different things that just this one particular state did. Sounds like I'm losing my voice here a little bit. Sorry, I just had to take a drink of water off camera. But yeah, if you've been watching my show here, you know that almost on a daily basis, I have different states announcing stimulus checks, tax rebates, tax cuts, benefits for seniors, benefits for children, benefits for low income, all sorts of different things here like this, because almost every different state has money like this. And it's only February. So I think throughout the year, I wouldn't be surprised if we see almost every single state announce money like this. And even in different kind of waves here, a lot of states are like, we got this money, let's start to announce some things. And then as the year goes on, they're like, oh, well, we can announce some more. So if your state announced like something, let's just say they announced some type of money for some people, don't be surprised if they don't announce some more going here forward, because the year is still really early. And like I said, they have a lot of money. And that's why I like to show you these articles right here on screen, so you know I'm not just making this stuff up. I'm not just kind of talking to you. I show it to you right here on the screen in black and white. I always have the stuff from credible news sources, and a lot of times I show you guys videos and stuff as well. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I do a lot of research for you guys here every single day. I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and news that affects you directly, what's going on here that you need to know about, stimulus and everything here. So make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribing is completely free to do so. So if you haven't done so, just click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on new videos. And then click the bell icon that appears next to the subscribe button and to get reminders when we go live with new videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can also click here to see how Social Security could be getting a big raise this year of $1,341. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.